What's going on, guys? Okay, having some issues. That's okay. What's going on, guys? Hey, what's up, Shane? SDR Roblox with Vegas. What's good? What's up, Crypto? What's up, Shane? Chair Force. I'm at work, hoping I don't miss anything. Sick video. Hey, I'm glad you liked it, Kratzian. So I think that this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. What goes into this isn't just, oh, I want to do a project. Let me think about a project that's good for me. What goes into this is being a YouTuber for SafeMoon, watching everything that went wrong, watching the psychology of everybody, of investors, of the team, seeing where we were fooled, what we believed in that ended up not being true, and what we thought was good for us, how it ended up being bad for us. Many of those things. And so I experienced that with SafeMoon, but I also covered a bunch of other projects during this time, and I also covered Evergrow and got to be a part of Evergrow, and I was a big part of Evergrow. And a big part of these things is that I was seeing a reoccurring pattern, a reoccurring problem, and I started to sit around and try to think of a solution to it. So really, what control token is it's a mathematical psychological approach to a foundational issue with every project. It's not just it's also a realistic approach. This is one thing I noticed with every time I'd cover a project or I'd see people that believe in projects. It was a lot of the times what caused a project to do well was not anything that the project had, but it was only what people believed about the project. Like SafeMoon never had anything useful, right, other than the community. But it was the community's belief that caused the project to do well. So I think that's what my goal is to present a project that you can believe in that isn't based on a lie. It's based on math. It's not based on some lie about, we've got the CIA and Elon Musk is involved, and we've got the best people working on the best stuff, and millions of dollars is going into it. It's not based on any of those ideas. It's based on code, which is nice because that's like a solid thing. That's math, and it's a code. The control events are set dates. If so, what happens if someone stakes mid-cycle? Do they get the benefit of the 12-month staking even though they've been in for only a month? So yes, technically a whale could come in on the last day, buy a ton of tokens, and then stake. Right now, me and the developer, Mark, I come up with the idea and he helps me flesh them out and do what he thinks. If he gives me advice, then I try to take his advice because he launches a bunch of projects. So I try not to be stubborn, and we came up with is we don't want to not let anybody get in on the control event that happens at the end of the year, which is 1 year. So a whale comes in on that last day and they buy. In order to get those rewards, they have to commit to staking for 1 year. And that means that if they try to pull out of the staking contract before the time that they've committed, because they've committed that much time, they are going to forfeit 30% of their tokens into the staking contract. So they'd be forfeiting their rewards for that year. They'd be forfeiting, they'd be paying a tax if they sold, which you're only really pulling out of the staking contract if you want to sell. And also, if they're pulling out early, which if you're pulling out of the staking contract, you're pulling out to take profits, right? You are forfeiting not just your rewards, but you're also forfeiting 30% of your tokens to everybody who is staking. So if we had that structure in with SafeMoon or with Evergrow, then that would have been every whale that wasn't staking, that would have been hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars that would have been going into the future of the project. And I don't think people realize how important these ideas are whenever I say these things. People hope in every single project, and it's an expectation that more people are going to buy in. You hope that a bunch of people buy in so you can sell on them. This is taking something real and it's putting it in the future. Those rewards are real. They're waiting there. And it's not an idea that may or may not happen. It's truly actually incentive to get more tokens in order to get more of these rewards. And the rewards could potentially be massive. If we get, this is just one thing about this, because I put a lot of thought into this. I'm not saying that, that this is perfect, but this seems very smart to me because it's a very realistic approach to a very serious problem. So yeah, we're shifting the hope in the math into the code. And that's another thing that I said about this is people are trying to create cryptos and then they're trying to attach real world utilities to it. And it's the problem with that is unless you just have a genius idea and you just don't have the money, which once again you're falling into like a security, right? If that's your setup, then you have no reason to tie it to crypto. There is no reason to attach to a crypto unless it's somehow involved with blockchain technology or something like that. The event's not tied to when you stake, no. When is the last day to sell? There's no last day to sell. The event restarts the next year. So if the event happened, sorry, I'm going through a bunch of different ideas right now. We'll just say this is the event, and this is really cool. So you every 12 month or every month you'll get a reward, right? It'll give out a small percentage of rewards, and then every 6 months, and then there's one at the end of the year. And so on the 6 months one, the 1 month and the 6 month, that whatever volume built up for that last month and for that entire 6 months, that's getting paid out to everybody who didn't leave the project, who stayed in. And everybody who left, everybody who's not staking, they just forfeited all of these appreciating stablecoin rewards that can't go down in value. They can only go up in value to everybody who is staked. If you, with SafeMoon and Evergrow, and I'll use these as examples because I was heavily involved in both of these projects, right? When you give rewards to every single holder, every single wallet, you greatly dilute those rewards, and they only matter for the really big players. It's not, you might get a couple bucks. If any of you guys are in SafeMoon or Evergrow, if you're in Evergrow, actually, a lot of people that followed me into Evergrow, you made good rewards. But when you say we're taking all the rewards and we're putting it behind staking, well, now everybody who doesn't stake, everybody who doesn't want to pay those fees, everybody who leaves the staking contract to sell is greatly increasing the rewards for the people that are in there. So that even if you're a smaller holder, your rewards are going to be greatly increased. And so on the 6 month, you'll get the 1 month and the 6 month, and then there will be a tax for an entire year that's building up into what I call the control event. I might also call it a full moon event and kind of have like a moon phase with all of these events that are happening. On the website, there's going to be a countdown that shows the rewards for these events so people can actually have a realistic idea. It's like, this isn't some fairy tale idea that you're hoping people come in one day. This is potentially, depending on how well we do, a lot of rewards that have built up. We have to get that momentum. And this is just one of the ideas that I've talked about. There's something about this there's so many things about this that are really, really good that I hope that you understand that I'm not selling you on an idea that's not realistic. I hope that the people that follow me, that I've always tried to be as realistic as possible, and this is the most realistic approach I could take to crypto. I wouldn't do this if I didn't think it had massive potential. I do think the hardest part is going to be to get that momentum, but I do believe that once we get that momentum, I think it's going to be hard to stop it. I think it will be very hard to stop that momentum. I think every other project, it may, if you happen to get some momentum, it always gets halted as soon as the whales sell, and then no one gives a crap about that project except for the few people that are left waiting, hoping for some future event or utilities to save them from their small bag. This, you don't have to have that. If we get that momentum up, then. And there's something about the momentum up that could cause the momentum up. And let me go into that. I'll check the comments real fast, real quickly, but let me write this down so I don't forget. Is the momentum up? Explaining that, because these aren't small ideas. This is a really big deal. So the clock starts at the time you stake 1 year, but the event is not tied to when you stake. If you stake for 1 month, you only qualify for 1 month event, or can you get the year event by staking 1 month? No, you won't be able to get the year by staking 1 month. In order to get the year event, you have to commit to a year. I don't think we fully fleshed this out, but you won't be able to come in, stake for 1 month, and then be able to get out in a month for the year events. Year event, you have to stake for a year. The 6 month event, you have to stake for 6 months. And the 1 month, if you only want to go in for 1 month at a time, you have to stake for 1 month. But if you're somebody who is, if you stake for a year in the very beginning, as soon as the year's up, you have the potential to take profits if you want, and then re-enter the staking contract. Or if you don't want to take any profits because you thought the rewards were really good, you can just re-enter the staking contract. It'll be up to you, but you can always pull out of the staking contract. It's just if you pull out earlier than what you promised to commit, you're going to pay a 30% tax fee into the staking contract, which is good because it means that if you're a whale in the staking contract, you got you and like say 5 other whales, and when a whale leaves, they're probably leaving to take profits because the price has gone up so much they want to take profits. They've got to give you and all the other whales and everybody who's in the staking contract 30% of their tokens. Now, if you're a whale, I mean, imagine it with SafeMoon or Evergrow, people who had billions and billions of tokens. That's a big deal. 30% is a big deal. So for one, the price would have to go up quite a lot for you to want to do that. You'd have to be like, man, this is like, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yeah, I might be forfeiting 30% and then paying that 20% tax on the way out, but that'll still leave me with 70 grand or so. And what that does right there is you might be like, oh, 30%, what? And a 20% sell tax? Like, I don't like that. Well, the entire purpose of this is that if you don't have a tax, then you have whales, and only the whales are going to allow the project to go up as much as they want. And whales are super greedy lately. They're not letting it go up at all, man. They're barely go up. And then somebody's doing a quick 2x onto the next project. Barely go up. Take another thing. This tax prevents those people from being able to do that. And we don't want those people. We want people who are in this for the long game. So the tax is so important. This is the staking tax. That's just part of like if you break your staking tax. The buy and sell tax, the 15% and the 20%, this isn't for the team. There's a 2% that goes to the team because I'm not going to pull a SafeMoon and not put a tax for the team if the project takes off. But most of the tax, it's actually 18% of the sell and 13% of the buy, go to you. They go to the future staker rewards. So it provides a real, tangible something to look forward to in the future. SafeMoon, and I love Evergrow, and I think Evergrow is a great project. None of this is towards Evergrow. It's just towards the concept of rewards and the reality of the effect that it had. If the rewards are distributed immediately with volume, or even like every day, then people don't have anything to look forward to other than hoping more people buy, the volume goes up, and utilities produce profit, right? But if you take those rewards and you say, actually, we're going to give these to the people who stay in the longest, who commit themselves to the project the most, then whales can still leave and they pay this tax. This tax shouldn't be a scary thing. This tax is for the future of the project. It's not for me. It's not being wasted either. It's not being thrown into LP and then taken out later. It's not being used to pay for like things that aren't actually going to benefit the community. It's literally cash in the hands of the community in a appreciating stable coin, which is a huge deal. Reflections, honestly, it was a stepping stone to like stablecoin rewards, which was actually stablecoin rewards was actually really good. The BSD rewards that I got with Evergrow, and there's many other projects that did stablecoin rewards, were amazing. Like your rewards weren't, if the price tanked, which SafeMoons did, then your rewards, if SafeMoon had done stablecoin rewards, people would have had hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Even the small people would have had a good amount. But because the price kept going down, even the tiny amount of rewards that everybody was getting became nothing, meaningless. So this kind of takes it a step further, and it's not just stable, but it's appreciating. So it's going to go up in value. That might not be a lot, but hey, to have guaranteed rewards that go up maybe 50% or maybe even a 2x at one point if a lot of interaction happens with the coin, which tying a project like this could actually cause that to happen, then hey, that's like guaranteed safe stable coin rewards that you can pull out. So it's super good to understand that what the two ideas that we're balancing, or that I'm balancing with this, is You're incentivizing something to look forward to in the future that isn't just an idea. It's a reality. It's math. It's part of the contract. The rewards are real, and that's going to be on the website. There's going to be a countdown to the event. If somebody wants to come in and try to get those rewards, okay, let's just say that, because this is such a big a deal, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to explain this. Let's just say this is the control event, and somebody wants to get in, a big whale. They say, oh, these rewards are amazing. I want to drop $1 million. And they say, I want to drop $1 million to get these tokens in order to stake right before the event so that I can get a good portion of those rewards that we're building up. Well, this is what the two things that are fighting each other, and I'm sorry I'm taking so long to put this into words, is the price. And I can't talk about speculation of what the price will do. Like, I can't guarantee the price is going to do anything. It really is getting momentum to grow this project is going to be me reaching out to everybody who knows me and doesn't know me and saying, hey, look at these ideas. Look at the reality of these ideas. This is designed to grow. It's designed to flourish that momentum that I was talking about. You know, when a project gets that FOMO and it starts taking off, and I know all of you guys have been in a project where you're like, oh, we're going up. That's good. We got this momentum. We're on our way. You know, that's the number one thing that grows a project. At the beginning of any project, when it gets that momentum, that's the most important time to grow a project. Evergrow did not grow nearly as much after the price went down. It's kind of just been hanging on, maybe growing a little bit, but kind of just hanging on to the people that are waiting for the utilities to come out. When you lose that upward momentum, then you kind of lose interest in the project, and that upward momentum is the price going up. So if you incentivize the price going up, and you want to allow for the price to go up while also still you want people to be able to say, oh, wow, I did 100x. Let me take out my profits. And it's like, yeah, okay. Now, in a traditional project with no tax, somebody sells $100,000. They tank the LP. They take the project with them. They take the future of the project with them. Nobody else gets anything. That one person or those few people get hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Everybody who bought in, they all got screwed and left with a project that doesn't have much hope for it, because it is very, very hard to get that momentum after it's gone. The entire point of what this tax does, it says, okay, in a normal project, you get 100K, man. Hey, happy for you. Now, when you sell, you're not taking the project with you. If you unstake, 30% of your tokens are going to go to, the staking contract, and that's going to leave you with 70K worth of tokens by the time you come out. And then if you are selling, then 20% of that, a fifth of that, is going back into the rewards as well. So 30% of your tokens are going to the staking contract for the yearly event, and then another 20% of your sell is also going to go to that yearly event as well. And so, you'll be getting out with, what is that? 14K. So you'll still be getting $56,000, right? But it's like you're not going to take the project with you. Now, if you're not staking, then it would only you'd be getting out with $80,000. But the point is we want to allow for the FOMO to actually take off. You want people to be able to take profits, and it's like, hey, you should be happy, because any other project that doesn't have this tax, it's not going to go up that much. The other whales will not allow it to go that much. Somebody has a bot, somebody's sniping, they're going to take the profits before you get a chance to. If all the whales hold together, we can see what happens. The price will go insane. Yo, what's up, Paul? How's it going, man? I didn't think Paul would show up. How's it going, brother? So I'll check comments real fast, and then I'll keep explaining. When can we buy and where? The website is controltoken.net, and they are working on fixing it for Trust Wallet users. They have a couple wallet options, MetaMask, but I reached out to them to fix that as soon as possible, because that's really stupid. I didn't notice that. Anyways, Hey, it's Paul. Good, good. The other premiered video has the explanation. This is a follow-up info. I just got here. Need to watch from the start. Won't it be still about waiting for more people to buy, just waiting longer? Here's the thing, and is if the FOMO starts to happen, like that's the goal. I can't guarantee that this will work, but if we can get that FOMO, that upward momentum, which technically everybody who's buying into this, you're someone who believes that that's possible. You're already somebody who's like, this is long term and I'm about the project, because when you buy, you're agreeing to the tax in and out. And that tax isn't for me, it's for the future of every holder who is going to stake. You're paying, the tax pays into the future of the project. That's a huge deal. I don't know if people quite understand that. And so if you get that upward momentum where people are really getting into it, people are really excited, and you really have that momentum, well, then all those buys on the way up are feeling those rewards, right? They're feeling the 1 month, the 6 month, and the control event. All this volume is, right? And so if a sell-off happens, right here, this just did a huge increase in the rewards. This whale who sold, or any of the whales, if it's multiple, they just greatly, for one, they forfeited all of their rewards. So in your traditional project like SafeMint or Evergrow, and I only use those because I'm a huge part of them. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that, man. Paul has always been such a good friend, and I'm going to be seeing him for the first time in New York, so we'll finally get to hang out. If you and I use Evergrow, and I still support Evergrow, so everybody knows that. If those whales who had sold in the beginning, with this structure in place, they wouldn't have gotten the tens of thousands, some of them, I think hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of rewards. They would have been forfeiting that to everybody else. So when these whales sell, they forfeit their rewards, then they pay a tax on the way out into those rewards. That 20% tax, 18% of that goes to the rewards. And so this, for other whales, if you're a whale, well, now you really do see it as a buying opportunity with buy the dip. Everybody says buy the dip. And we're like, okay, why buy the dip? What if it goes lower? Well, now there's actually incentive to buy a dip, because the more that you have, the bigger percentage of those rewards you're going to get. And what I was going to say earlier about if somebody tries to come in and buy a massive amount before any of the events, that person is not, they'll have to pay 30% of their tokens back into the contract, and it probably will not balance out, right? If you're taking if you buy and then you get your rewards and then you sell out of the staking contract, you pay 30% and then you pay another 20%, it's not going to be worth it. So people hopefully won't be doing that, like buying and then trying to sell really quickly. They probably will be buying and then and then holding and hoping that the rewards go again. But if somebody came in and bought right before one of the events, they would be increasing the price dramatically, right? Because at that point, the cost of the tokens would be probably decent, right? For somebody to come in and get a large amount. And what that would do for you, well, if you're somebody who staked at the very beginning, you can sell if you want, right? This guy just raised the price a lot to get those rewards. Well, now if you want to, you can sell without that tax, because you stayed in with the time that you committed to. And say you stay in for 5. The control event goes, you get your rewards, and then 5 days go by, you look at the price, you go, man, I'm really good. I'm going to take some profits out of this, but I'm going to keep some in. And then you want to restake those tokens for the year so that when the next year comes, you can do the same thing. There's a lot of ideas that are really important when it comes to understanding this. And what I'm really trying to get at is it's really the price versus the rewards. And both of these things are kind of going against each other to help each other grow. Because if the price goes down for everybody who wants those rewards, it's an actually real buying opportunity. It's not based on hoping a bunch of people are going to buy. The rewards are real. And so you have that, right? And I think what that's naturally going to do is, well, people probably are going to create a floor that's a decent floor. And what this is really saying, when I say price, I really mean FOMO. That upward movement, I think it's going to be very hard to stop that. If I can get that going, if we as a community, anybody who decides to do this with me can get that going, because I can't guarantee that this will work or do great for you. I have to be honest with you about that. This is just, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I paid attention to these things. I think I did demonstrate my ability to be reasonable and my understanding of tokenomics and math. I demonstrated it with Evergrow. Evergrow did very well. People understood the 8% BUSD rewards would do well, and it did really well, and a lot of people took a lot of profits. I get thanked for that a lot. And I just took everything and I thought, how do you fix the pyramid-like structure of every single token? And this is what I was telling people is, you, in almost every single project, you are incentivized to destroy the project, because the number one factor of why people are interested in it is the price. And as a whale, it comes down to, like, if the whales hold, if you can give the whales a reason to hold, a real reason, the price usually can skyrocket. With any project, if for some reason the whales hold, or if the buying pressure can outweigh the selling pressure enough to get them to be like, holy crap, the price keeps going up, I don't want to sell, right? Then that's where FOMO can really take off. And, you know, I remember with Evergrow looking at all the wallets above me, and there's people with, like, I don't even remember, it might have been 10 or 100, tons of people above me with $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. It took a lot of people having a lot of money holding. And if they keep holding, the people below them will probably keep holding. And if that keeps happening, the people will keep getting in. And if that happens, that's where it can go to some insane height that you didn't think was possible. That's what the number one goal of this is to preserve the number one factor of growth, is that FOMO, is you get that momentum and you want to maintain it. And so through the tax, through the structure of the tax, it will naturally, in my opinion, do that. It'll naturally maintain that, because if a sell-off happens, the rewards just got fueled heavily for the 6 month and the year. And people can always, that's another great thing, is like, say the whales don't want to buy for some reason and the price tanks because other whales sell. Well, now anybody out there can come in and buy this dip up. Everybody's incentivized to buy that dip. You know what I mean? It would be great, because some people want to be whales in something like this. And so I think that this idea, it takes two very important ideas, and they kind of fight each other. If the price goes down, it is a serious buying opportunity to get more rewards out of the staking pool, because that's how the staking will work. And, you know, it'd be cool if I could get a calculator or something to go on the website that would help fuel that. And maybe I could talk to Mark about doing that. He's just a very busy guy. Mark also is launching some kind of like game-changing DeFi thing soon. If you guys haven't seen that, I know what it is, but I can't say what it is. But I will also potentially be a partner with that, and so that could be a huge thing as well. But a calculator, it'll just be the total amount staked, your bag divided by the total amount staked, times the rewards, and that'll be what you're getting out of those rewards. Now that could be changing on a daily basis with people leaving the staking contract and entering the staking contract, but everybody who's leaving the staking contract is fueling the staking contract, not just with forfeiting their rewards, but also with giving 30% of their tokens to it. Now, the people who say, oh, I don't want to pay that fee of the staking contract, I'm not going to enter that at all. Well, what they're saying is, I'm only in this project to sell my bag at some point. And so I paid the 15 in and I'll pay the 20 out, but I don't want to enter the staking contract. What they're also doing is, especially if you take a whale, and just for the sake of an example, I know this is dumb, but say somebody had half, like the supply or something like that. A whale had half of the supply of what the rewards would be. It's such a massive amount that in the staking contract, half of the rewards would be going to that whale. Well, if he doesn't want to pay that 30% on the way out, then he is forfeiting all those rewards because he's not staking. That's, you know, if that was massive volume, say if that was, you know, what Evergrow did or even what SafeMoon did, and I'm not saying this will do that, but if it was, that's tens of millions of dollars that's going to everybody else who's staking. So what this does, and why this is such a big deal to me, and why it makes so much sense and has so much potential, is it does balance a problem. The problem before was a pyramid-like structure. Only the early people benefit. If you're getting in later, you don't benefit unless something massive happens. And when they sell, the project's dead. And it's up to whatever team is left, it is so hard to get that momentum going again. I know it does happen, but it is so hard. It is so much easier to get that momentum going with a new project, which is why you see a lot of people, they don't keep going with the same project. They would if they could, but a lot of people who, make crappy projects, they make new ones. Oh, we'll just make a new one, because everybody's looking for that new project that's going to do well, and they want to feel like they're early. So what this does is it changes this pyramid-like structure. Like, I hate it. I'll tell you some things I really hate right now. Obviously, rugs. I hate rug pools. Something I really despise, almost more than rug pools, is just giving tokens. If any project is just giving out tokens, you're just creating red candles on your chart from people who didn't even earn it. And then obviously any type of scamming. And so those things are bad enough, but even if you remove bad actors, like I said in the video, you still have a pyramid structure where the early buyers who aren't communicating with each other to hold so the price will go up, it's you and say 9, 10, 20, 30 other people hoping that each other doesn't sell so the price will go up. And then somebody sells and you go, dang it, I missed my chance. And then if the price gets close to that, I'm going to sell. So this kind of alleviates all of this, hey, if you want to sell, go for it, because I might even buy your tokens up so that I can stake them and get those rewards. And thanks for giving me all of your rewards when you left the project by selling. And thanks for giving me 30% of your token. And thanks for paying the tax on your way out. And so it's balancing the distribution of wealth. Instead of it being a pyramid scheme, a pyramid structure where only the early buyers benefit, and you have to get a bunch of people to buy in after you, it balances it so that people can still make, big returns, big gains, big returns. It's just hey, do you really need to sell for $1 million and everybody else be screwed? Or maybe you take part of that and you give that back to the community and keep the future of the project alive and keep the project going and distribute that wealth to the people who held, right? This is what everybody wants. And I think that a structure like this allows for that initial FOMO, that initial growth, which is the number one factor of growth in a project, to flourish. This is what I would say about any project. What would the project do? That's how I started the video. What would the project do if no one sold? Well, obviously the price would go insane. If no one's selling, we saw it with Squid Games token. You couldn't sell, and the price just went to some insane thing because no one can sell. Because what that experience is, right, is, oh my God, my bag is so high. Everybody's, oh wow, look at my bag, but they can't sell until it got rugged. And so you don't want to create a project where people can't sell, but you want to create a project where it balances that, where it's yeah, you can sell. You get 100x, you put in 1,000, you're at 100K. Yeah, sell your bag, take your profits, but you're not taking the project with you. 18,000 of that is going to the pool, and not just that, but you're forfeiting all of your rewards to everybody in the pool. That's a huge deal to balance this structure. That's why I say this is a mathematical, psychological approach to the reality of the foundation of the contract that is a pyramid-like structure. If trying to solve this in other ways is going to almost be impossible. It is like trying to fix something on the outside when the problem's deep down in the root. You know what I mean? You have to get to the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is the pyramid-like structure. In order to balance that structure, and it's a distribution of wealth. When we talk about the pyramid structure, you're talking about how wealth is being distributed, and it's always the early buyers, and this is how 90-something% of tokens are going. Unless you have a serious team that has serious utility, that has serious connections, nothing's going to happen, right? And it's hard to get those things. I can't guarantee that I do get those things, but I can guarantee that this structure is going to take, instead of only giving it to the whales, the early buyers, it's going to distribute that to the people who usually get screwed the most. You say, hey, I'm a small holder and I held, and yeah, the price went up good, but I'm going to get these really good rewards. And also, I staked at the beginning, so I can also take some profits, and I don't have to pay that 30% to do the unstaking because I staked for my whole year and I did what I said I was going to do. Now, if you guys have any questions about this, I'll read comments right now. I think this has massive potential. And this is what I love about this. I could honestly go on for this about it forever. Let me say this last thing, and then I'll go to comments. Safe Moon, and I use these two because I was so heavily involved with them, and Evergrow. If I were to ask you guys, why did these projects go insane and go parabolic, like they freaking went off, right? If you were a part of either of these. Now I missed SafeMoon. I came in for a little bit of the way up, but it was not enough for me. Like I'm looking for like to change my life, not just for a quick, a couple hundred, couple thousand return. Why did they go parabolic? Was it because they had a serious team with utilities that generated profit? No, right? That's obviously not. Both SafeMoon and Evergrow exploded in their own ways because of an idea. And that idea didn't even have to be true, but people believed it for SafeMoon. People thought, and SafeMoon actually, the reflections, a lot of us were noobs. Now, if any project did reflections, I'd say, look, that only matters for whales. It's not going to benefit anybody getting in late. The only way reflections ever benefit you is if the price went so far down that you could become a whale yourself. But reflections and the LP tax. The LP tax was actually a good thing. We were looking at those numbers, and it was something like 270 million with SafeMoon. That if John didn't pull that out of the LP, that would have been $270 million or something along those lines, around $200 million, something that whales and you, that was for us to sell. That was literally in the liquidity. We could have sold that, but instead he took that. And you steal out of the liquidity, you steal from everybody. And those are the ideas of why people bought in. People bought in because of reflections. People bought in because of the tax. And this is where I would say that the number one factor of growth in these things happened was actually the price going up and people believing that it was going to go up further. Whatever idea you attach to why they believed it was going to go up further, it might be different. In my opinion, Evergrow, the reason that it exploded was the BUSD rewards. And, I'd probably say the team. Now, honestly, the alt team, probably Sam. And I don't mean to discredit anybody, but Sam made us very confident in the future of Evergrow. And I think the rewards, my videos, the price going up, the buyback and burn, all of these things played into all of us believing the price was going to go up. And it was a self-fulfilling prophecy that basically caused that to happen. And this is where the biggest thing I'm trying to say is both of these things skyrocketed without any actual use case, no generating any profit at all, and they both took off. And I think it's extremely important to understand why that is. Now, I want to say this to you guys as well. I can't guarantee this will do well. I can't guarantee I'll get the momentum. I'll do the best I can. I am just an average guy, I'm not some special blockchain wizard. My parents aren't in the CIA. I'm just an average guy. Nothing special about me. I make YouTube videos. I try to be honest as much as I can. And this is my approach. This is my shot at saying, hey, I think this could do really well. I think it would. You can't make everybody win. That's impossible unless you're Elon Musk and you just take billions of dollars and you just give it to hundreds of thousands of people. There's no way to make everybody a winner. So there has to be losers in this game. But all I'm saying is if you make the winners share their wins with what would be the losers, then you create a system that, in my perspective, allows for greater growth. For one, you have to wait longer anyways. And there's been multiple projects that have done this where if you get people to lock up their tokens or something, it causes the price to go insane, right? And so it's like if you create incentive to hold the tokens, it can, if it gets that momentum, that FOMO, allow it to hit a height that it never would have hit if people could have sold. And so this is one thing I would say when it came to SafeMoon and Evergrow. I honestly do believe the price could have went way higher than it would have if you would have had a structure like this in place. It's kind of like if people don't sell, what would the price go to, right? And it's probably insane market caps for even crappy projects. I think some projects do well and they're not even good ideas, but the price goes up enough that people get in on it and they're like, hey, did you hear about this, racist coin or something really stupid, right? And so this is and I don't know if there's math tokens out there. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just call that like this as a math token. It's about the code. It's about your belief in the project shifting from a person or an idea that might or might not be true, right? Like, oh, maybe Elon Musk is involved. Maybe we have a huge utility. Maybe something big happens. To shifting it into a mathematical, fully, like permanent foundational structure of code. And those rewards are real. You take those rewards and you give them to people who hold, and you reward the people who hold, and you punish the people who sell. And I don't really like to use that word punish, but it's like, hey, if you're leaving, that's fine. Like nothing wrong with leaving, but you got to pay into the future of the project. And it's not paying into the team so that I can have more money, so that I can pretend like I'm a great CEO. It's like, no, it's paying into the rewards. It's rewarding the people who are staying. That's what this whole structure is about, is balancing that wealth, allowing for you to, have a moon bag, hopefully hit something that you couldn't hit in any other project. And because we're alleviating those two problems, one, whales worry about outselling each other, and they get upset when another whale sells, and they wish they would have sold. In this, it's very possible that you would think, okay, I'm a whale, but they sold. I just got their rewards, and that's a potential buying opportunity if I want. And if every whale has that incentive, then it could be that dips actually do get eaten a lot faster. And this is another thing I would say about this is SafeMoon. This is what happened with SafeMoon. Some guy was trying to scam people. He copied a contract, and he didn't even put any tax for the team. He pasted that contract, and because the name resonated with people, it got traction and it took off. And what I'm saying is, a lot of people, I think, are going about this the wrong way as far as thinking it's got to be this next revolutionary team that's proven themselves. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that, because honestly, I believe Vitreous is that. Vitreous is this, what appears to be a very legitimate team who is successful financially. Evergrow, I do think, is an honest, trustworthy team that's doing everything in their power and using their marketing strategy to help it grow. Squidgrow is a guy who made some of the best trades in the history of crypto, who's a multi-millionaire seeking to cause a crypto to explode. Those are amazing things. But when it comes to a project, I'm just saying, if you approach it for what it is instead of for what it isn't, I'm presenting this not as a false idea to get a bunch of people to believe in it in order to make it true. I'm presenting it as for what it is in order to get people to believe it. And that is that it's a math token that balances wealth distribution. And this is without adding any utility to it. There is a couple ideas that I've talked to Mark about where he says, depending on what we raise, we could potentially, come up with some things that add utility to it. And I have my own ideas that are, in my opinion, much more realistic approaches to generating profit for a project than most projects. That's what I said at the beginning, is like, if you have a business idea to make money, why would you tie a bunch of other people to your profits? Why would you want them to be that? Unless you knew that you had just this ace in the hole, and you knew that you would never be able to do it unless you got outside funding. And at that point, I'm like, well, aren't you going to be considered a security? So why would you do that in the first place? This is just a mathematical, psychological approach that's supposed to be more realistic. And really the hardest part about this and the most important part about this is going to be get that momentum started. But I do believe once you get that momentum started, you're going to start feeling those rewards, and you're going to start incentivizing the people to not want to sell. And if they do sell, it's only going to be because the price went up so much. And as the price goes up, more people want to get in. You preserve that FOMO. As more people get in, more rewards fuel. And then if the sell happens, not only are the rewards fueled, but people actually have a real incentive to buy that dip. Right? Not just buy it so other people can sell on you. They're buying it in order to stake to get more of those rewards, because the rewards are constantly going up. So I do believe that if I can get that momentum going, that I think that it has the potential to, and I can't say this like, you can't talk about price or whatever, but I think that if I can get that going, that this structure will allow it to grow to what its potential is. I think that almost every crypto project, 99% of them, they don't actually grow to what their potential is, especially off the initial FOMO, because whales sell and people lose interest. It's like, what would that have done if you would let that kept going up? What would it have done? What did it market cap would it have gone to? And so this is the goal of Control Token. You guys let me know what you think. I honestly, I can't guarantee anything for you. You just have to look at these ideas and say, do I think this is a good idea? Do I think this is a bad idea? Am I willing to risk this? The great thing about me is, you know, I'm not going to rug you. I'm not giving any tokens to anybody. Actually, that's not true. There probably will be a partnership where we set aside some tokens in order to airdrop a very small amount into a large amount of wallets. Just so they can get, like, you know, I don't know, $3, $5, $10 worth of it, just so they can be exposed to it. But it's not like I'm like, oh, hey, mom, here's a huge amount of these tokens. Get ready to sell when the price goes up. Oh, hey, that's my best friend. Oh, here's my girlfriend. You know, oh, here's my dog. Let me give my dog some tokens too. Like, I can't stand giving away tokens. It's like, that's killing the growth of your project. And I can't understand why anybody would do that unless they just feel good off of giving, they feel power off of giving tokens away. The pre-sale is live. I'll be making videos on this, guys, throughout the entire pre-sale. I do have to go to New York next week, so I'll be in New York all week representing Squid Grow. But I might try to make a video for this as well while I'm there. The pre-sale is live right now. If you go to www.controltoken.net, it'll take you to the pre-sale. There was an issue with not being able to connect Trust Wallet, so I'm hoping that they can fix that as soon as possible. But if not, you still have time, and you're guaranteed the same price by getting the pre. It's not like you have to worry about getting in. You'll have probably about a month to get in the pre-sale, but I'll get that fixed as soon as I can, because I know most of you guys probably do use Trust Wallet, I would think, most of the people that I know. So that's a big issue to not have that right. Price will skyrocket because people will definitely hold for that year. I don't know. I don't know. This is just my shot at a more fair token that doesn't just screw over a ton of people for the sake of a few. It's a shot at making a token that allows it to grow to what it would grow to. That's one of the goals. Make a project that allows it to grow to its potential, because I think every other project is cut short by whales' greed. And of course it is, because if I was a whale in any of those projects, I'm not incentivized to hold. I'm incentivized to sell at the top. Every project incentivizes you to sell the top. This one doesn't. XUSD is such a good idea to have in the LP. That's another thing is, you know, we have 2 liquidity pools, and, you know, I'm not sure the impacts on this, but it's actually a really cool idea. And that's where I hope that people can understand this. And I think that having me, I don't know what role I would take on. I just the creator. I'm not trying to like pretend like I'm some kind of like CE. Like, that's just stupid. But anyways, I'd probably do something like Elon Musk did, where he just kind of came up with a joke title. But you have these 2 separate LPs, and I told you guys about arbitrage as a service. Arbitrage as a service. And so I'm sure all you guys know what arbitrage is. If you don't, it's just selling or buying something cheap and selling it to where it costs more until you balance those prices. So if the price of Control Token over here is, you know, $1, and the price over here is $2, well, you can buy it here and sell it here until you balance these out, you know, say at $1.50 or whatever. And now you just arbitrage those LPs. A lot of places, when you get listed on an exchange or something, traders can naturally do that. Oh, wow, the price is so much different here. I'll buy a bunch here and go sell it over there. They can make a profit off of balancing liquidity pools. Arbitrage as a service says, hey, that's great. You know, you could let people do that, or you could do it yourself. DIY. And how you do that is you can give permission to arbitrage as a service, and it'll be able to do it before anybody else can, because it won't have any fees. It will go in, it'll balance those LPs, it'll take all the profit, and all of the profit from balancing those LPs will be buyback and burn. It'll buy Control Token and it'll burn those tokens, which will create rewards and slow the supply. I'll be real with you guys, because I don't really like to create false understandings. I do think this would be minimal. Like, this wouldn't be like an insane, like, oh my God, it's producing crazy numbers. But the other cool thing about this is that because you have 2 LPs, you know, one, the Control Token and the BNB, this one you have Control Token and you have XUSD. Well, XUSD can only go up over time. It goes up very slowly. Now, things can cause it to grow up a lot faster, and I think Mark actually is revamping XUSD. He says he's making it way better. I don't know what all that entails, but it'll definitely be a video. If you're getting rewarded in this, I'll be putting out videos explaining all this, at what XUSD is. And there is a couple other things. I might have to do this again on Twitter, or I might just do it tomorrow, explaining all these things. But as the price of XUSD goes up, all of everybody's rewards go up, which is great. If other people are taking their rewards, oh cool, I want to get in this project, I got to sell it. Now anytime anybody sells XUSD, they just raise the price of everybody else's XUSD, and they raises it more because XUSD, when you buy, it creates the tokens that you have. When you sell, it destroys those tokens. So only what is bought and sold is what is the supply. The supply is determined by who's buying and who's selling. That's how it works. The reason that sells increase more is because not only is it paying the tax, but it's also removing the supply. And so a lot of people, that sounds like magic, but it's really not. It's just simple math, and it happens at a very slow rate. However, XUSD, I forget what the price is at right now, but it went from $1 to, I think it's at $1.30 or $1.50 or $1.70. That's not crazy, but for stable appreciating coin, that's pretty damn good, right? So anyways, you create an LP with XUSD in it as well. And so as this rises, which only goes up, then arbitrage as a service will go in there, and it'll always be balancing these pools, taking that profit and buy back and burn the token, which is pretty cool. So that is basically, there's a lot of implications that come with this, but I hope you guys can understand the vision of what it is that I'm portraying. And I think that if people understand that, like, oh, if we get that momentum, then it could go potentially much higher than a project without this tax system could, because it incentivizes the future of the project. That's what I was saying, is the tax system with both SafeMoon and Evergrow did not incentivize the future of the project. It only incentivized the volume. As soon as the volume is gone, then you're hoping that people come in and buy. And so the future of the project is based on hoping in the profit from the utilities, or that there even will be profit from utilities. Evergrow, at least, is saying that all of the profit from utilities is going back to buying and burning Evergrow. That could be massive, right? But SafeMoon really didn't have anything like that. You're just hoping a bunch of people buy so that you can sell while you have tons of whales above you. So none of the tax went towards the future of the project, is what I'm saying. None of the reflections, none of the rewards. And with both SafeMoon and Evergrow, and they're both good and bad in their own ways. SafeMoon could have been amazing if they didn't touch the LP, and if the reflections were done differently. But it was distributing those reflections to everybody, which really dilutes the amount of rewards. By doing it only to the stakers, it greatly increases those rewards. And by not just only doing it to the stakers, but by giving it to in a delayed sense to the stakers, now you're giving by mathematically, foundationally, in the code, in the contract, the reality of rewards of actual money is in the future of the project, and it goes towards people that are the most faithful towards the project. Now, you don't have to be, but if you are, those are the people that are going to get rewarded. And like I said, even if people try to come in and buy late, that's going to make the price go up a lot. And after you get your rewards, yeah, maybe you get a little bit less because somebody came and bought right before the event. But now you can actually sell and take profits and then rebuy a dip if you want, if you think the next year is going to be good. Another thing about this is going right into the bull market. This 1 year event is going, we got the halvening happening next month, right? I think I saw it was around 420. And the timing of this event is the momentum. If we can get this as a community going, as Bitcoin's going on this run, which I think most of you are probably on the same page as me, Bitcoin probably going over 100K, maybe 200. Some people think that's unrealistic. Say, oh no, probably just 120, 150. I think most people that have been bearish on Bitcoin have been proven to be wrong. A lot of people said it's never going back to all. How many people did you guys hear say never going to all-time high again? We already broke it before the halvening. Don't listen to those people. Bitcoin likely going far past 100K, my opinion. with that, we know how that works. The money flows into the new alts. Everybody's looking for those new projects. The number one factor that gets people to look at your project is that the price keeps going up. And here's the thing: is Evergrow, the price went up a lot. I told people about it. They go, "Damn, I'm too late." The price kept going up. They go, "Holy crap, I need to get in," right? And so it wasn't until much, much later that they had to do that. Sorry, Paul. I know. Evergrow changed they changed what they were doing. It was buyback and burn, but I forgot they changed it. But thank you, Rocket Surgeon in the chat. How you doing, Rocket? I love you, man. So yeah, the pre-sale probably lasts for a month. The pre-sale. This is what I would say is, for people who are thinking about doing the pre-sale, there's two things to consider. And I honestly, most pre-sales you're going to get dumped on by people using bots or whatever, and you don't stand a chance. Now, that's been my experience. But this pre-sale, 15% of the pre-sale is going towards rewards, 15% of the raise. And I wanted to do 10, but Mark convinced me that 25 was the amount you wanted to do towards the treasury for marketing and for paying for things. I didn't want to do that, but I only wanted to do like 10 to pay for everything, because obviously you don't want a team that can't work for free. You need them to be paid for what they're doing. I know everybody just wants free marketing and like a team that just gives up their life to work on a community. So 15% of it will be going towards rewards. And so when it launches, there's going to be a 20% sell tax. I don't know if people are still going to sell at that point. I can't control people, but I think that you'd be pretty dumb to try to sell on this pre-sale. I could totally be wrong. You got anybody who's smarter than me in the chat, you're welcome to voice your opinion. I think selling with the 20% tax would be pretty stupid. Now, people do it, but even if somebody does it, somebody sells with the 20% tax, then that's just forfeiting the rewards and feeling the rewards for that month, the 6 month and the 12 month. So I don't personally think that's going to happen. I don't get any special tokens. I'm not giving myself any tokens. I'm not giving anybody tokens. I'm buying the pre-sale. I'm going to be buying the pre-sale. I'll probably be doing like $1,000 into the pre-sale. And because I honestly think this is a good idea and that it has that potential. When it comes to everything else, it's probably just going to be a bit of luck combined with the community. I'm going to be networking with people. I'll be making videos. I think also having somebody like me, I covered SafeMoon for a long time and people loved my videos. People wanted to watch my videos, like what's going on a daily basis, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 views. I figured out what people wanted to hear about and know about, and I got videos up to 40,000 views. I know how to make a good video for a crypto community. I'm not so good at YouTube outside of crypto, but with crypto, I can do okay, especially when the interest is there. And so to have somebody like me constantly putting out that content, like imagine getting a good video every single week or every couple of weeks, you get this great explainer video. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to reach everybody who watched me in the past and say, hey, I'm not trying to convince you of anything, but I think you should look at this and decide for yourself. Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it worth the risk? Is it not? And all I want to do is give you that option to decide for yourself. This is what I said about Evergrow. I was like, guys, because I didn't know what Evergrow was going to do. I just thought, man, these rewards and the tax and the tokenomics and the 8% BUSD rewards, they look insane. But I have a good feeling about it, but I could be totally wrong. But if you guys want to jump in on this risk with me, go for it. And a bunch of you guys followed me into it. And honestly, probably, I don't know how much, but a good amount of people who followed me into Evergrow probably helped play a role in its growth. It's very hard to calculate what that is. Oh, it's probably minimal, maybe less than 10%, or maybe it was 50. Like, I don't know, but I think I played a pretty big impact on Evergrow and its future. So, and I think that the reason that I did is the same reason that I believe in this is it wasn't the utilities. If you go back and watch those, like I was like, yeah, they have these utilities, and Crater sounded kind of cool, but I don't know. That one sounds pretty cool. But for me, why I was so excited, if you go watch that, it wasn't like me lying or hyping up something. If you go watch those videos again, I was super excited about the tokenomics. I was super excited about the amount that you got per token and how cheap those tokens were, because I was comparing them to SafeMoon in those videos. That's why it was so big. It was like, guys, look, SafeMoon, you're only getting like $30. Evergrow, you're getting like 80, and the tokens are way cheaper to get if they get volume. And I was right. You were able to get those tokens for that cheap. And if you did, you got hundreds to thousands of dollars of BUSD. And I'm super happy that I was able to do that, because that's my goal in crypto, is to not screw people over to make money. I want to make money, but I also want to help people make money. And that's what I was able to do with Evergrow. I was able to, I took 70K profit. I could have taken a lot more, but I just didn't sell because I didn't know where the top was and I didn't want to get out. But I took about 70K profit in Evergrow, and I helped people make way more than what I made. That's the goal, is to find good projects, cover them, let people know about them. And that's why I say right now, Evergrow, Vitreous is in its final stages of its pre-sale. If you haven't done that yet and you want to, you can go watch my video. It's called Vitreous Pre-Sale Ends. It ends in like 4 days. You can use my link and I'll get like 10%. So it's a good way to support me. It doesn't take away from you. It just supports me. And then you can, the other thing I would say is SquidGrow, guys. Like a multi-millionaire is seeking to cause a coin to blow up, who's speaking at NFT NYC, who's the main sponsor of it. Now, if you think it's dumb or a waste of money, that's totally fine. I can't convince you of it. I'm not trying to. But in my mind, it'd be like this. If you gave somebody, and I don't know how rich he is, but I know that he's the number one Shiba whale. He was an early Bitcoin whale, and he's been whales in many other projects, and he has a lot of money. If you get, this is what my next video on SquidGrow is probably going to be about. While you guys are here, I'll probably be doing it this week, right before I go to New York City to represent SquidGrow. Say I gave you $400 million, and I don't have any idea how much Shibtoshi has, but let's just say I gave you $400 million, and let's just say you took $10 million and you're like, I'm good, I don't need anything else. I'm going to take the rest, $390 million, and I want to cause a crypto to hit this market cap, or I want to cause a crypto to explode. Could you succeed with that money? And I think Shibtoshi's on the journey of having insane amounts of money and wanting to cause a crypto to do well in order to help people. And that's the game that he's playing, is how much can a man with that kind of power, that kind of money, because money makes the world go round, cause a crypto to do well. So that's where I would say. And then finally, I'd say, like, look, I wish I could guarantee wins for people. I can't. All I can guarantee is that I'm being honest, and that I'm not stealing tokens, I'm not rugging, I'm not scamming people, I'm not misrepresenting things. And I am putting something out there. I wouldn't just create a token to create it, because there is a massive amount of risks in making a token. There is, the SEC, there's all the accusations, there's just the scum of the earth that you have to deal with in crypto that lie and attack you personally, just nonstop basis. And it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of work. I wouldn't want to do it unless I thought, and to me, this design feels like an ace in the hole. In my opinion, I could be wrong. It feels like an ace in the hole. It feels like this is going to help distribute that wealth more fairly, that incentivizes the future of the project. This is what everybody's seeking. They want to launch a crypto that goes to some insane, market cap. And that's what the goal is, right? Of course, you wouldn't create a crypto if you thought, oh, we're going to make like $100 and everybody's going to get like $5 each, and we all get to go home and go get a cheeseburger after we pay our taxes. Like, no, you're trying to launch something because you think it has potential to explode, and that's the goal, is create something that explodes, not just based off of an idea like, oh, guys, it's a cartoon image and everybody's going to like it. It's like, it's Pepe the Frog, and it's like, yeah, that does happen, but most people miss those. So the entire point of this is to shift people's hope into something that's real, and to utilize the tax of everybody. And you could use that in a really stupid way. Like, you could waste the tax and not benefit the actual people, the future of the project, but by taking it and creating this like big event. There's a big event that we're all looking forward to. That's exciting, right? And there's going to be a countdown to the event, to the control event. And it's something real that's happening. It's not going to be a birthday where nothing really happens and everybody's disappointed. It's going to be a massive distribution of rewards. And even if there's a sell-off, that's going to greatly fuel the rewards again for the next month. And that's another thing, is like, if you have insane volume for a month, then that month is still being rewarded. You don't have to wait for the event. You get a mini event every single month. Oh, cool, we got these rewards. Oh, that's actually pretty good. You get a little taste of it. Then you get the 6 month. Oh, it built up for 6 months. And now the 6 month and the past month are all happening at once. And now you're getting a little taste, or a little taste of what that 12 month could be, because the 12 month's been building up the whole time. And it's going to be structured in a way that the 1 month is going to be a smaller tax, the 6 month is going to be a little bit bigger, and then the 1 year event, the control event, the full moon event is going to be the biggest tax. It'll have the biggest tax going towards it the entire time. So you can still people are still getting rewards on a shorter basis, but they're building up into the biggest distribution of those rewards. And I think that that's exciting. It's actually something real to look forward to, the fact that there's going to be like a countdown. I think the timing with the Bitcoin halving and the bull market is like almost perfect timing. It might, even if it comes a little early, that timing could be insane, to where if there'll be all that money coming in from Bitcoin that goes down into the alts, where people are looking for that. And so if my design works, if it actually works and it's able to flourish, and as a project grows, it grows at almost an exponential rate. In the beginning of projects, it's not until the sell-off happens. Projects don't just suddenly die off while the price is going up. They keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. It's not until major sell-offs happen that people get scared and they go, whoa, I thought this was going up and now I'm down, and whoa, I thought the whales weren't going to sell. And that's where everybody gets so excited and they're freaking out in the beginning, and I can't believe it, and it's the best feeling ever. And then a sell happens and now we're all scared and we're wondering if we should have sold. And that's the experience that crypto is, right? So I hope that this design will, for one, alleviate that. If that had happened with SafeMoon, when that happened with SafeMoon, I feel completely comfortable talking about SafeMoon and Evergrow because I'm part of them. Everybody was like, I don't care, I'm buying the dip. Like Thomas was an idiot. Okay, I don't care, I'm buying the dip. Kyle tried to ruck it. I don't care, buying the dip. Thanks for the dip. That's what it was, all the way down into like freaking zero. And you could see the dip as buying up in a buying opportunity, but this creates, every dip that you buy with this structure increases the amount of the rewards that you're going to get at the end, or even for that month. And this is where like I start to get excited, because I feel like I haven't even thought through a lot of the impacts of these ideas. Like I just said, it's not just, oh yeah, the year, I have to wait till it's like, no, there's the 6 month event. And the more people fight to get more tokens to get a bigger portion of that event, the more it causes the price to go up, because when you buy, the price goes up. And the more you cause the price to go up, the more FOMO you get. And so the entire idea is all of those coming together and snowballing into what could, I don't want to end up on the SEC's radar or anything. Not that I did talk to Mark about that. I don't think I'm doing, he said basically what you're doing is not a security. He didn't think it could be considered a security. Now I know that that's open to like whatever they want. They can just classify anything as it. Where is Rocket? I don't see him. He was here earlier. He said good art, and he's a funny guy. Atlas Wallet will support your product. That's amazing, Paul. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything about that, but if Atlas Wallet will also support it, if I can do a partnership with Atlas Wallet, that'd be an amazing way to reach a large audience with this project and say, hey, what do you guys think? At least like I said, people, at least I have good intentions. My intentions are for the whole of the community, not just myself. My intentions are for I'm not going to scam. I'm not going to rug pull. I'm not going to give any tokens away. I'm not giving myself any tokens. I'm buying just like you guys. I'm buying my own pre-sale. I'm not giving myself any advantage other than the tax. I am giving myself the tax, and that's because, I created the project. If I'm going to create a good project, then I need to give myself a tax, not just to pay myself if I'm going to be making content and doing AMAs and trying to do all that work that happens behind the scenes, but also I'll have to, build a team and pay other people to do those things. Especially if we start to blow up, then that 2% in the buy and sell fee can be used to actually, legitimize the project. The more we do, the better we do, the more we can spend on, marketing and on teams and on partnerships and stuff like that. That was another huge problem with SafeMoon, was like they didn't give themselves any money, and so they had to steal from the liquidity to try to fund it. And look where that got them. If Kyle had just put in 2% tax goes to the team or to the treasury, SafeMoon never would have had to touch the LP. That's a massive mistake to not put funding in for the team for something like that. Look forward to checking it out, CC. What's up, Penny Smith? How's it going? Yeah, I have a video on it, guys, that breaks it all down if you want to watch the video, and I'll be putting out more videos as time goes on. Probably in 2 weeks, I'll be putting out more videos because I have to go to New York City for a week next week. Everywhere, Paul, that's made me 10 times more bullish already. That's Paul and Sam are good friends. They've always had my back. And super happy to still be, a part of Evergrow. Good luck, man. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. I'm just catching up. Only just tuned in. Isn't XUSD DeFi Mark's token? Yeah, Mark is doing the contract, and that's his token. Yes, Mark. The two things that I would say outside of this for you to be bullish on, outside of the reward thing itself, and outside of the structure of itself, and outside of it being safe. We'll have the audit and everything done and all that stuff. But outside of you just knowing that I'm like, people publicly know who I am, and I've proven that like I'm not here to scam people. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to go to jail. And how dumb I would be to do something like that. And I'm going to be accused of that by people who are maxis who just hate me. And that's just a reality, is like people are going to lie about me, my intentions, and the project just purely because they hate me, purely because I told the truth about SafeMoon, purely because I told the truth about who they were. There's a group of people on Twitter that are called 365. They tried to come into my space and mock me. I tried to be respectful to them, and then I just told them they weren't funny. And now they just hate my guts. And anytime that I do anything, they personally attack me online. They've already said, "Oh, your project sucks. Why would anybody want to buy your project? Because you don't have any money. You've admitted that you don't have any money." I'm like, okay, that's one factor to keep in mind. If I'm not rich. But how many projects have blown up where the person wasn't rich? That's not the only thing that you consider when you're considering a project. And the fact that you are saying that my project's basically dead because I'm not rich, for one, that sounds like borderline retarded statement to make. You don't even know what the project is. But it also just demonstrates that you're not actually trying to be fair and balanced. You're just personally attacking me and trying to make me look bad. And it's because you guys encourage each other to do it. And I hate Twitter, man. I hate the toxic people on Twitter. It sucks. I'm here to vouch for CC Kratian. And that's where I actually don't even want the people who would fall for that bullcrap to really be a part of the project. I'm like, if you're falling for that after everything I just did with SafeMoon and after what I did with Evergrow, I'm not saying I haven't made mistakes or promoted projects that didn't do well. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I talked about Surge. Surge got hacked. That sucked. I did it while Mark was on the team. That sucked. I've talked about other projects. They didn't do well. I wasn't bullish on them. But the ones that I have been bullish on so far have done well. Other than SafeMoon. But SafeMoon had the potential. And you just know that I have your best interest in mind. And that's what went into the design of all of this. It was me sitting around for hours thinking about ideas, thinking about what would work, what would solve this problem, how do you solve this, what would alleviate that sell pressure or that fear, how do you incentivize the future. And I realized that it was all through, the power was in the people, right? This is just how governments work. And I'm not trying to go on too long about this. I probably won't go too much longer because I might have to do all this again on Twitter, which would be quite a mouthful. But we're all being taxed to death. I'm sure no matter what country you're in, I'm in the United States, you're being taxed to freaking death. You're taxed on your buy, on your sell, on your property when you die, and it's a massive amount. It's not like a tiny tax. And they're using that. They're pulling in, billions and trillions of dollars, and they're printing dollars. They're stealing. Every time they print money, they're stealing from every single one of us. And you see that structure. But you see the power in taking a little bit from the few. And so you could just say, hey, there's 10% tax. I created this token. 10% is going to the team to pay us and to go towards what we want to do to try to raise the project. And it's like, that might work, but wouldn't it be better just to take that and give it back to the community? Like, what if those billions of dollars in taxes that we all paid, what if it was just given back to the people who worked the longest or the hardest at the end of the year? That would actually incentivize people to do good. Or what if you paid more to people who didn't get tickets or who didn't get whatever? What if you're actually rewarded for being a good citizen instead of being taxed to death or whatever? And I'm joking about that, but that actually might be a good idea. But I'm just saying, the power is in the people, right? That's the entire point of the conversation of decentralization and everything. The power is actually in the people. And the problem is usually at the top, and it's usually a centralized source that's controlled by few that's profiting off the many. And so what I'm suggesting is take the power, which is of the people, which is in the tax. When you pay that tax, you're paying into the future. Everyone's paying it too. And you're creating something for everybody to look forward to. And it could potentially be very massive. And even if other people come in and they put in large amounts too to fight for that, well, now they have to come in much later than you. And if they try to leave that staking contract, now they have to forfeit 30% of their tokens. It'd be pretty dumb of them to do that. And they have to basically raise the price in order to get those rewards, which creates a, not only are they raising the price, but they're increasing those rewards as well because they're paying the tax on the way in. And if anybody tries to take advantage of that price being raised, then they're also paying heavily into those taxes on the way out, and they're forfeiting the rewards. In my mind, this is a genius idea. It's an ace up the sleeve. It feels like an ace in the hole. I could totally be wrong, but that's how I feel about it. It's not. It's out the guys. It's controltoken.net, and I'll have an issue right now. I hope they're fixing it. I think they're working on it, but. It's just www.controltoken.net. The pre-sale is 2,000 BNB, which comes out to about $1 million raise. So everybody should be able to get in. I don't think we're gonna hit that cap. I don't think you have to worry like, oh, I won't be able to get in. But maybe I could be wrong, but that would be good if we raise that much. But yeah, it's just controltoken.net. The controltoken.com domain costs like $9,000. So I don't know. Somebody else out there has a control token or something. I don't know. But I just did controltoken.net, and that's just the pre-sale website. And then we're going to get the contract. We're going to get it audited. We're going to get a website, and the website is going to have the event countdowns to it, so you'll know the event's happening. And it's going to hopefully have the amount that's stored up in there. And this is where it actually could get really cool. There's something I haven't said here yet for anybody who's still listening. For one, you have the buys and the sells are fueling the events, and they're fueling them more heavily towards, like, the month one is going to be the least amount of the tax going towards that. The 6 month will have a good amount, but not the most. And then most of the tax is going to be going towards the yearly event. So that'll be the biggest event that has the biggest boom. On top of that, everybody who leaves the staking contract early throughout the entire time between the start of the year and between the control event, everyone who leaves forfeits 30% of their tokens to everybody in the staking contract. So there will also be that will also be distributed to everybody who is in the event, right? You'll be able to get 30% of those tokens as well. Outside of that, we can also put anything else in that event as well. We could put any partnerships. If I'm able to make big partnerships and able to cut big deals, I could say that's going towards the 6 month event, or that's going towards the year event, and you'll be able to see that in real time on the blockchain. You'll be able to say, oh wow, they just put 50K, in this month's rewards, or they just put 100,000 or something like that. I don't know what the numbers would be or whatever. I'm just the bigger we grow. This is something. Last thing I would say, and that's why there's so many huge things. I could probably just go on forever. SafeMoon had what everybody wanted. They had the community, they had the presence, they had the investors, they had the potential buyers that knew how to use DeFi, and that were, much of them, very gullible. Not that that's a good thing, or that that's something that should be abused. Unfortunately, that was just part of it, because many of them were new, and many of them took on a maxi mindset they shouldn't have taken on. Anyways, SafeMoon had what everybody wanted. They had a large group of people, and they used that for themselves. They did not use it for the community. To get listed on the SafeMoon swap, they had to pay a large amount, and that completely went to the team. It did not go to the holders at all. You were the product. And then when those projects launched, from what I could see, most of the SafeMoon people were getting screwed on those. And I think people on the team were getting inside scoops on what projects were going to be listed on the swap. They knew the SafeMoon team was going to buy. They were buying. Their own team was probably buying. I don't know who all. Maybe you can ask Jonas or Hayden. I don't think it was Jonas or Hayden, but I do think it was somebody else that they know on the team was buying before the swap listings and selling on the team. And it's like, you're taking advantage of the people. You're the centralized problem. You're the government. Like, you're abusing your power in order to benefit off the loss of the people below you. And what I'm saying is, instead of wielding a community for your own benefit, you wield a community for their benefit. And what I mean is, if we're able to come to partnerships with other projects or whatever, if we build a good community that has a lot of presence, then people will want that community to look at those projects. And here I could take the same stance that I take with myself. Hey guys, we're going to look at this project today, and I'm not going to represent this as something that it's not. I may not be bullish on this, but we're all going to look at it together. And they are paying for us to look at it. Now, you could decide if you like it or you don't. You don't have to buy it, but we're just going to look at it. And I'm not going to misrepresent it. I'm going to ask the right questions, and I'm not going to be dishonest here. And if they have a good project, good. Then you can actually get in on something. If they have a bad project, nope, don't get in on it. And we're realistic about it. And they're having to pay us. And that's going towards the events. That's going towards the rewards. So instead of wielding a community for your own self-benefit, you're doing it for the sake of the community. Another interesting thing I would add about this is that it seems to be that the people that tell the truth don't get the attention as much as the people who lie. It's like the people who are most easily deceived are deceived because they want to hear something more than the truth, right? And so the people that are more willing to lie to them will tell them what they want to hear and teach them to think in a way that causes them to trust them and to not believe all the people that are lying to them. We saw that with SafeMoon, this maxi mindset where everybody was convincing each other that any idea, as long as you believed SafeMoon was the next big thing, then you were thinking right. And if you didn't think that, that's okay, but don't talk about it. And if you do talk about it, then there's something wrong with you morally, and you're evil and stupid, and you're being paid. That was crazy. That mindset actually was like a virus that took over people's brains. And so, yeah, it's honestly just a lot of, it's on BNB. The contract address, yeah, let me put that in the chat. Sorry, guys. We're working on trying to get the Trust Wallet thing up. That's a huge deal that's not up. I messaged them, and they're talking to Mark right now. They're hopefully get Trust Wallet on there soon. I didn't realize that wasn't on there, or I wouldn't have gone live, actually, if I didn't know that. But luckily, you'll have plenty of time to do that. So I've already put this in the chat. But, yeah, you're right. I think you could just use the contract address. Probably end this soon. I'll finish any questions. Hopefully, if you guys feel the same way I do, I'm going to be trying to reach as many people as I can who followed me, people from SafeMoon, people from Evergrow, just to say, hey, just look at this. If you like it, I don't want anything from you. Just look at this. And I think that a lot of people are like, oh, you're launching a project. Oh, gosh, yeah, you're just trying to get rid. It's like, I understand why people feel that way, because that's most of what's going on. And most projects' ideas suck. However, I think that this idea, to me, seems like an ace in the hole. It seems like such a good idea because of the psychology behind it and because of the math and the code. Sorry, 1 second. Hopefully this isn't loud. The chat's not coming up. That's weird. Is there a pre-sale tax? We'll be taking percentages of the sale. So it's like by agreeing to participate in the pre-sale, you're basically agreeing to the tokenomics of the pre-sale. There's the tokenomics of the tax and the tokenomics of the pre-sale. And we're doing 15% of the pre-sales going towards rewards, because we don't want a bunch of people to buy who aren't paying into the future of the project, right? You want people to buy. We're going to tax everybody. We're going to put that towards the future. That way people have something to look forward to. And then also we're going to be taking 25% of the raise, which is a large. I feel like that's a large amount. Mark was telling me that there's pre-sales that launch where they only see 10% of liquidity. I wanted to see 70% of the liquidity, but he was saying it'd be better to do 60. He's like, dude, you need money for marketing, for buying and burning the token, for paying people. Like, you don't want to not do that. And I'm like, okay, you're the expert. You're the one who does this. So we'll do that. So in agreeing to do the pre-sale, you are agreeing to that, but you're also getting that price, whether or not you think it's going to go up or down, you're getting that price. So it's guaranteed price. And like I said, I could be wrong, but it would be really quite interesting to see somebody do the pre-sale and then sell for a 20% tax after the pre-sale. So that's another thing I was saying. I could write down more, but honestly, I need a drink, and I'll probably switch over to Twitter. If you guys want to watch me do this again, I'll probably do it again on Twitter. I just have to re-verify my account. Also, guys, I'll be putting this out there. I'll put the links on the on this video and on the previous video. There's a Discord, there's a Twitter, and there's a YouTube. And I'm still going to operate Crypto Control and cover projects, cover Squid Grow, cover Evergrow, and cover any project really. But then there's going to be a main YouTube for Control Token where we'll be putting out like announcements and how to buy and explaining certain aspects of the projects. And I think it's going to be really exciting to have me at the helm as just someone who's creating content, exciting content around my own project. I think that's a pretty fun and exciting thing to do because I know what people care about. I know what matters. I don't like unrealistic ideas. So I think that'll be a great thing. Okay, so I think they fixed it on the pre-sale, guys. Let me check right now. He said there's an other options. Other wallets. Okay. Yeah, and that looks like the one you scan. Yeah, it's Wallet Connect. So cool, they fixed that really fast. So you go to other wallets, and it's a code, and then you just go to, I'm sure you guys know how to use it in Trust Wallet. There's a scan button. You click on that, it pulls out your camera. You scan that, it'll automatically connect to the pre-sale, and you'll be able to do it from there. As far as like the price and that, I don't think we've determined some of those things. So some of the more like information about that's going to come out as we come to an agreement on what exactly the tax is and what exactly the amount's going to be and all that. But that'll be announced. Like I said, I'll be able to make a video on anything whenever I can. So I'll be looking at the community and trying to make sure everybody's satisfied. At the same time, there's a lot of people that hate me, and you guys have to understand that, you know. And my thinking of it is kind of like, if people are going to fall for that, the people that hate me's lies, their slander, their accusations, then I kind of just I prefer for them to not be part of my project if you're ignorant enough to fall for that. But some people might just not know me and might be misled by some of these people, which is quite unfortunate when you think about that, because these people are being dishonest. People were probably talked out of Evergrow because I talked about Evergrow with SafeMoon. They said, "Oh, you're not talking about SafeMoon," and so probably people missed out there, and it's just unfortunate people might miss out. But awesome. If anybody has any other questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Should I post? Yeah, Kratzian, you can post any of the links. I know you don't have the Twitter or the YouTube yet, but I'll be posting those and getting those going. Project will probably be launching in around a month. It could be shorter, it could be longer if problems happen or if things go better. If the pre-sale goes really well, then it could be a lot shorter, right? But it'll probably be around a month. We'll make sure that everything's ready to go. It will be launching with a website, and we'll be basically focusing on marketing. And there's two things that we said that I don't know if you guys heard. The two exciting things. One is Paul already just came on and said that Atlas Wallet will support us. So what that means is I do have to take a percentage of the tokens, and I'm not giving any tokens to anybody. And I have to give them to Atlas Wallet, and then Atlas Wallet will airdrop that into its users. And it's not going to be a large amount. It'll be like, hey, I got $10 worth of this control token. What is this? Oh, this actually looks kind of cool. Oh, it went up. Maybe I should buy more, you know. Oh, wow, this sounds amazing. Let's check out the website. That's the kind of marketing it is. It's basically, we make a partnership with Atlas Wallet, and they airdrop a lot of our tokens to a lot of different users. That's as far as I understand it. Thanks for that, Kratzian. I appreciate that. And Xuse puts me off too. Still owed money from March 1st. Hey, it's your choice, Whitmo. You know, my goal is not to convince anybody to do anything. My goal is to portray what it is I'm trying to do and let you decide. That was the same thing I said with Evergrow. I'm not trying to convince you to buy or sell. Same thing with SafeMoon. Not trying to convince you to buy or sell. My goal is to get you the most important information at the most important time to have it and let you decide for yourselves. And right now, the most important information regarding this, if you say, oh, I don't like this, I don't like marks, hey, that's your call. That's your risk. Maybe that'll benefit you. Maybe that won't. You know what I mean? I can't guarantee one, so that's why I don't persuade you. Because ultimately, we all just have to reap the consequences of our own decisions, whether it be missing out on huge gains or whether it be losing money, right? It's your choice to make. So I think I've hit all just ignore the naysayers. That's kind of what I have to do. I'm here to vouch for CC. I think I've hit all the questions, guys. And so, like I said, the two big things is basically a semi-partnership with Atlas Wallet, which is pretty awesome. And Mark has something. He's announced it on his Twitter. I can't really say what it is. and I don't want to overstate what it is, but it sound. I don't know if you guys remember me saying this. If any of you guys followed me for a while, I said that Mark is a prodigy, that I haven't heard anybody talk like him or understand things like him, and that people don't operate the way that he does. He does operate in a way, when it comes to coding, when it comes to math, that is unnatural, not normal. And so he's able to think in ways that mathematically people don't think it. Now, I disagree with Mark on a lot of things, actually, not like morally or anything like that. Maybe we don't talk about that stuff, but when it comes to like why people buy, I believe in the psychology of the root of why people do things and whatnot. And Mark just kind of looks at things as a more structured mathematical approach. I look at things from a psychological and mathematical approach, and we might come to different, disagreements. But I think he might have created something that is absolutely game changing. It's his own thing. It's not part of Control Token, but Control Token would be partnered with what that is, and that does have, I think, massive potential. But as he's announcing it soon, right? So I'll maybe make a video. I told him I was like, hey, I can make a video on it. And he's like, yeah, you'll be partnered. You'll be one of the tokens that's on this. And I don't know. It's hard to say this. If I could tell you guys, it sounds like something that would make Mark famous, like people would know who he is. It sounds like it's something that game changing. Like something that people haven't solved yet, and he got to it first. And other people with millions of dollars have been trying to solve this, and he solved it, I think. And we might be one of the partners with them on that. So that's something big, as well as the Atlas thing, as well as the control event, as well as, the potential utilities and stuff. However, this is my first time doing this. I'm not an expert in launching cryptos or being, doing any of these things. I'm doing it my first time. So I was just trying to be as real as I can with you guys. However, I am extremely bullish and confident in the ideas and in their potential. And so hopefully it's able to do what I think it can. And that could potentially greatly benefit people, and not just benefit the whales, not just benefit the early buyers, but actually create something that's self-sustaining, and something that benefits the later holders, and something that benefits the holders who held, because those are the usually ones that get screwed the most. And with a structure like this, with not just rewards but delayed rewards, not just delayed rewards but delayed rewards to those who don't leave the staking contract, it greatly increases those rewards for those people who stayed and held. And think about how many times you've done that and you kind of missed your opportunity to sell and you didn't get that many rewards. This is taking all the rewards of the people who do sell, and it's giving it to you, the people who believe and hold the longest and stay the longest. So I think it has massive potential. Combine it with XUSD, combine it with the potential partnerships. I'm going to do the best I can to market this, to put out videos every week. I think that's amazing. People love my videos whenever I covered Evergrow or when I covered SafeMoon, even if they weren't like great videos, just me doing these crappy writings on the thing. People just they want to hear about it. They want to think about it. They want to think about the possibilities. And so I will be able to do that, every week, as long as, I'm not super busy. I still have to make a living and take care of my wife and try to have kids and take care of the house. And I've got dogs and animals and all that stuff. I'm not just a single guy living in a basement, who can dedicate his entire existence to something. But, if it does well enough and I can make a living off of it, then I can dedicate, most of my time to it. So hopefully you guys like that. If you don't, contribute button disabled for me, I think you might have to click, I think you have to connect your wallet first. Yeah, you have to connect your wallet and then you can go to contribute, right? And guys, I would say this, that it can't all be on my shoulders. It's all of us together. Like, any of you guys can make images, content, share the video. Like, I'm putting out these videos, go share it with the crypto people, and say, hey, check out this video. What do you think about that? What would that have been? If the community can help spread this, then we can help grow something that's going to help a lot of people. There still has to be losers eventually, right? But it's going to be a lot less than your average project because of the wealth distribution, and hopefully it'll be a project that does well for a lot of people. You said it's connected? Okay. Let me run that by this guy. I'll run it by him real fast. Hopefully he's able to answer real fast for you. I'll try to get that worked out for you. Maybe I'll go do this again on Twitter. I might have to, because that's like a whole separate community. Some of you guys are on Twitter too, and I love you guys. But I have a negative experience with Twitter, and I think it's because that's where most of the maxis were, and where I just developed a lot of people that just hate me on Twitter. And so it's just honestly just an uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. YouTube's actually a pretty positive experience. Even with the people that are hateful on YouTube, it just doesn't hit the same as the people on Twitter. Their slander, their accusations, their mocking, their lying. I got called everything in the book. But I messaged this guy. I'm hoping that he's able to get back on that. And if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I'm going to try to figure out this thing. Was connect, nothing else. Link that works is the wallet, connect, nothing else. What is Mark's Twitter account? It should be DeFi Mark. I mean, how can we know when he launches? Okay, yeah, whatever he wants to. You're trying to ask about that thing. Let me try to find that for you real fast. I had to re-sign into my Twitter, and now I got locked out of it on my computer, and it's not letting me back in, which is like really stupid. I mean, I got it on my phone, but hey, Kratzine, are you still here? Can we get this? Can we get the Discord? Get the link for the Discord? Actually, I can do it, because if I end this and people still need help, you'll be able to just join the Discord. And if that way people are just having issues, it sucks that we're having issues right now. Crypto control story. You just missed like the full explanation for eGender. Oh, that could have something to do with it, but I will be in the Discord. I'll do my best to just be in there to answer people's questions nonstop. Worked for me, connected and contributed BNB with MetaMask. Okay, what's up, Chad Elliott? Thanks for joining the support, man. Thanks for being part of this. And like I said, I make videos. You guys like them, you watch them, you share them. That's easiest marketing ever. But also, you know, getting involved on Twitter can help a lot as well if you're not on Twitter. That might be it, West. But there's the link to the Discord. You guys can join there, and I will be in there ready to answer any questions. You can go to the control chat and be able to do that. All right, let me answer your question real fast, Mowgli. Let me find this real quickly. About the thing that you're wondering about. Yeah, it might happen before we launch, actually. Yeah, it's DeFi Mark on Twitter. Go to DeFi Mark. It's about 5 tweets down. DeFi Mark says, anxiously waiting to get the green light to tweet about the new tech I've built that's going to change DeFi forever. I have fun creating tokens, NFTs, contracts, and platforms for clients, but this will showcase my capabilities to the world. It's not an investment, it's a utility. I know what it is. I can't say. It wouldn't be a huge deal if I said, but when he described it to me, I'm like, that sounds impossible. That sounds like if it's true, you're going to be famous. That's what that sounds like. And so we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see when that comes out. And I'll do my best to upgrade all this. My first time, do my best to upgrade all this. Oh, you're welcome, Mowgli. This sucks. I wish I got here at the beginning of the live stream and watched your video before you came all good, bro. Love your content. It would be funny if your coin is called Truth Coin. Hey, Free Gender, you might benefit from watching, if anybody's tuning in, breaking down the importance of everything that's being explained in this. I think it's super important to understand. Don't just, that's why I tell people, like, hey, you trust me that much, you want to buy. I had a lot of people say, I'm buying. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, but you don't even know what I'm doing. What if I'm just making some stupid project, you know? But a lot of people just trust me. And I'm like, well, look at the project and see what you think, and then see if you want to buy. And I would say that to everybody. Like, don't just buy because you like me or you trust me. But make sure you understand what it is that I'm saying, because you might be like, oh, well, maybe that won't work. Maybe this needs to happen and that won't happen. You know, you have to come to your own decision about it, and the more information you have on a decision, the better. That's all you need. Yeah, that's definitely not happening. Like I said, not giving away tokens. That we have a partnership with Atlas Wallet, where you will be listed on Atlas Wallet, which is amazing, and we'll be airdropping. That's the only tokens that are being given away, is if we're airdropping tokens to a large amount of people, like hundreds to thousands of people getting, you know, I don't know, $30 or 10, 20, you know, 5, 10, 20. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be a very small amount. And it's just enough to say, hey, you just got some, you know, $10 worth of this token. What do you think about that? And they might go, hey, that. And then if it goes up and they go, oh, wow, my $10 just went to 100, or, you know, $20. It just did a 2x. Like, that's not bad. What is this project? And so it's really good marketing, and having a partnership with Evergrow, honestly, might be a massive opportunity to get the project in front of the Evergrow holders' eyes so that they can decide for themselves. Like, that's the most important thing, is like, I don't want to control any investor's decision to buy or sell anything. You want to go buy a token called Rug Token? Dude, that's you. That's all you, man. Just make sure you understand you're probably not getting any money out of that, you know? But I don't want to control anybody's investment or what they look at or don't look at. I don't want to persuade somebody not to do something because I could be wrong and it could have ended up making them money. And so all I really want to do is give people opportunities to look at things and decide for themselves, whether it be other projects or this project. Oops, made a mistake on the welcome chat. We'll fix it when I'm on PC. Okay, sounds good, Kratian. Cannot connect wallet on BNB chain and Trust Wallet, Mr. B says. Partnership with Operation Phoenix. Potentially, I'm actually going to be in New York City. I'm going to be with Shibtoshi. I'm going to be with, there's going to be a lot of big crypto people there that I'm going to be with, but Squid Grow Joe's going to be there. Me and him were friends for a while, and I think we're still cool. I think we kind of went our own ways, but he's part of Operation Phoenix. Maybe we do an AMA together. Man, that's probably the best thing we could do, is do an AMA. But restart the live stream. You guys have a good time. Thanks for coming in, Free Gender. Thanks for being so positive too, man. It's great having you. And I look forward to join the Discord, guys. If you guys want to connect with me, I'll be in the Discord. You can always message me on Twitter at CryptoControl3. I guess I was the third one. Whatever, man. I feel like I'm Crypto Control. Whoever those first two people are, nobody knows them. Restart the live. It is just like another influencer I always listen to says, don't trust, verify. Hey, yeah, perfect. Yeah. Like, and there might be certain things you just can't verify, but it's like, don't do it just because me. Like, let your gut tell you. Make sure you understand what it is I'm saying. If you have worries and you're not sure, that's another thing. Is like, well, if you think, oh, that could be something, well, then you can always just put less in. You know what I mean? If you're like super bullish and you're like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Because like, the more bullish on something, the more willing you are to put more in, because then could be a whale. Then you could have a lot more. And then if it goes up, you know, $100 with a 10x is only 1,000, but $1,000 with the 10x is 10,000, and $100,000 with the 10x is $1 million, right? So it's insane. The more you're willing to put in. So if people feel, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, because just don't do it if you don't want to do it, and do it if you do. I can't guarantee success of anything. All I can guarantee is the vision and the structure. But if you're worried or scared, you can always just do less. Like, oh, $20 here, $50 there. But I don't know. I am super bullish on this, and I think that if that vision translates, then other people might feel the same way, and they might want to risk more. If you guys have any other questions, I'll answer them, and then I'm going to end this stream, and I might go live on Twitter so that the people on Twitter I can interact with them as well. You can only connect on Ethereum, Mr. B says. It would be awesome to see you guys get together on a live stream. We were all in this together. Yeah, I'd be down to do maybe a double AMA. They explain their project to us, and I explain my project to them, and we have both communities meet. That could be a great thing. You the real CC. That's right, Jesus. Is that a legit website that Kratzian? Yeah, Kratzian is my moderator. He created the Discord. He's like supported me for a long time. And yeah, it's controltoken.net is the website, guys. Kratzian is a moderator here, and he's the creator of the Discord. So awesome. It's great. I hope you guys, if you're tuning in late, I would rewatch all of this because I really do delve into, and there's so much actually that I haven't delved into that I will be creating videos on going in and probably doing more live streams just going over this so that people can understand it. And I probably will have to spend a lot of time explaining these visions to people in Twitter spaces and in live streams and stuff like that. So I'm running out of breath, guys. It was awesome hanging out with you guys. I hope you guys, if you haven't seen the video, you can go watch the video. You can watch it a couple times to get the idea of what the purpose of it is. And there's a lot of exciting things in my opinion, and it's not bullcrap, and it's not even it's not nonsense that's not going to affect anything. It's actually a lot of really cool things. But thanks for hanging out, everybody, guys. I'll be in the Discord if you guys join the Discord, and we'll be able to chat there. Might go live on Twitter if you want to follow me on Twitter, but I might need a little break. So I will catch you guys later. You guys have a great day.